If you're opening a retirement account and you aren't sure whether to go with a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, you're not alone. In this video, I'll break down the contribution limits, income thresholds, the 5-year rule, tax diversification, and more so you can decide with confidence. Some quick disclosures.
The contents of this video are for educational purposes only. They aren't legal, financial, or tax advice. Consult with your financial advisor or your tax advisor before making any decisions that could impact your financial plan or your situation.
So let's get into the basics. With traditional IRAs, you may get a tax deduction today, but withdrawals in retirement are taxed as ordinary income. With Roth IRAs, you contribute after-tax income, but once you get to retirement, the withdrawals are tax-free. Here's an easy way to remember this. You can think of traditional as taxed later, and you can think of Roths as taxed right now. Here's the contribution limits for 2025. You can contribute $7,000 if you're under age 50, and you can contribute $8,000 if you are age 50 plus. So that means if you're age 50 plus, you get a $1,000 catch-up contribution. Think of a traditional IRA as skipping the concert ticket line today, but paying later when the show ends. A Roth IRA is like paying for the ticket up front, but once you're inside, everything you hear is free forever. So let's talk about IRA deductibility. One common misconception is that everyone who contributes to an IRA is allowed to deduct it. And that's not the case. It depends on income and whether you and or your spouse are covered by a workplace 401k. Now, just because the deductibility is phased out doesn't mean you can't make an IRA contribution. You can, you just can't make the deduction. And it's important that when you do this, that you keep track of what's known as the tax basis. And the reason is because you didn't get that deduction. Later, when you take withdrawals from your account, you don't want to be paying double tax as if you already got some tax deduction in the past. You never got that. So let's talk about Roth IRA eligibility. High earners are generally phased out of contributing to Roths. And here's what I mean by high earner. If you file single,
you can make a full Roth contribution if you make less than or equal to $150,000.
And you can make
no Roth IRA contribution directly if you make $165,000 or more.
If you make
between $150,000 and $165,000 in 2025, that starts to phase out.
For married, filing jointly,
full is less than or equal to $236,000, partial from $236,000 to $246,000, and none if you make $246,000
or more per year. And if you are in a situation where you are married but file separately and you live with your spouse,
the Roth contribution actually phases out between $0 and $10,000 per year, meaning there's effectively no Roth access if you make more than $10,000 per year.
So let's fast forward to the future. Let's talk about withdrawals, the 59.5 rule, and the Roth 5-year rule. With a traditional IRA, if you withdraw from that account under age 59.5, there's generally a 10% penalty plus ordinary income tax with some exceptions. With Roth IRA, your contributions can come out anytime, tax and penalty free. So something important with Roths is called the Roth 5-year rule, and this is something that a lot of people aren't aware of. To withdraw your earnings tax-free from your Roth IRA, your Roth must be open for 5 years, and you must be 59.5 or meet an exception like disability or buying your first home. The translation of that, open your Roth IRA early, even with only a small contribution, just to get that 5-year window started. Think of opening a Roth IRA kind of like planting a tree. You can eat the fruit tax-free, but only if the tree has been in the ground for at least 5 years and you're old enough to eat the harvest. So let's talk about RMDs. With traditional IRAs, you're required to start taking distributions at age 73. With Roth IRAs, there are no required minimum distributions in your lifetime. So RMDs are kind of like the IRS showing up at your doorstep at age 73 and saying, hey, we want our tax money. With a Roth IRA, they never not. Let's talk about Roth conversions. You can convert a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA at any time. You pay taxes when you convert, but future growth and withdrawals are then tax-free. This is a great strategy for lower income years and before you get to RMD age once you're in retirement. Let's talk about tax diversification. Why not both? And the answer to that question is it's not either or. Sometimes you can use both. In fact, a lot of our clients do. When you use a mix of pre-tax and Roth money, that's called tax diversification. The nice thing about having tax diversification is that once you're retired, you can decide each year how much you want to pull from each account. This allows you to manage your tax bracket. So this is kind of like packing for a trip when you don't know what the weather is going to be like. You're going to pack something long sleeve and you're going to pack shorts. With both Roth and traditional buckets, you'll be prepared for any tax climate once you retire. So here's the big picture. Whichever account you choose, the most important thing is that you're saving for retirement. In both accounts, you will not pay taxes on a year-to-year basis as long as you don't take withdrawals from the account. Remember that traditional IRAs are taxed later, Roths are taxed right now. But starting now is what matters more than finding the perfect account. I tell clients all the time, don't get stuck trying to find the absolute best account. The best account is the one that you actually use. 10 years from now, you're not going to regret opening a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA. You're going to regret not having started saving for retirement at all. If this breakdown helped you, please hit like and subscribe for more clear financial planning content. And let me know in the comments, are you leaning towards traditional, Roth, or both?